Hello, good people. I don't know how many of y'all are in the stream yet, but we're gonna have a nice little time here. It's gonna be short.
We're gonna do a thing.
Yeah. So, you may probably already recognize our voices. I am Saracen. There's Luffy over there. How you doing, Luffy?
I'm doing well, Saracen. Nice little Wednesday evening. Gonna talk some fun stuff. We got some fun flags planned after you coupled together here. We're gonna do a little chatty chat.
Mostly just the chatty chat.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna show a little bit just so people can get an idea. But we're really focusing tonight on Spellcrafter.
Yes.
Spellcrafter is a wonderful magical thing. By that I mean it actually is about the magic. It is changing the spell books dramatically.
Yeah.
So, a little bit about our Spellcrafter. What it does is it takes the original magic, it throws it out the window, it replaces it with some stuff from a big old list. We're going to show you that list in just a minute here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, there's some default assumptions in here. You'll notice that on the screen here we have retain old permissions selected. So the default assumption of Spellcrafter is that you are not shuffling magic. And if you shuffle magic, the red mage gets very sad until you turn retain old spell permissions back on, in which case the red mage acts in a way that is consistent with the way it acts everywhere else. Level 1, you can get the first and third slot, and the fourth one you promote, and for white magic, and so on and so forth.
Yeah. There is a really terrible time out there somewhere where if you don't have that check, that the red mage can probably learn no spells levels 1 through 4, and it can be a really, really bad time.
Yep, absolutely painful. So that's kind of that assumption, is Spellcrafter is designed originally around not having shuffled magic levels, and that there's permissions for the red mage. But when you throw those two assumptions out, you have shuffled your magic levels, you definitely want retain old permissions, or the red mage is a dead class.
Yeah, and you don't want to see that. Everybody loves their red mages. They're fun. Versatile.
They are indeed a versatile fruit.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's a couple spells that do tend to carry over just fine. Warp and Exit, particularly, are going to carry over pretty much all the time. There are equivalents to all of the things, but here's super, super important note. There is a number on most spells.
Yes.
That number tells you where that spell originally rolled as a level. Fire 3 in Spellcrafter is not Fire 3 from normal spells. Alright? So, make sure, this is super important, I'm going to show it off in a couple minutes here when we get to actually showing how it looks in the game. Make sure you are hitting select in the magic shop to double check what you're buying.
Yeah.
But, having said the caveats, there's a lot of fun stuff in here.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of fun stuff in here. Very much changes the way you play, and it's really funny when you get past the initial piece of, wow, this is so cool, and then you get to the part where, oh wait, I have to rethink my Topher strategy because these level 7 and 8 spells, yeah, the fiends are going to have those.
Yeah. It also, like I was saying to you, it really makes some spells really like viable that you wouldn't think would be. Burn 7 does a heck of a lot of damage, and Rock 8 can hit for like 800 damage. I've seen it do some crazy stuff. Halt 8 can halt a fiend in their tracks and stop them from doing anything back to you. I've seen it shut down Kraken 2 before. Like, it is possible to do some really wacky strategies going through Temple of Fiends with these kind of spells. It can be a lot of fun.
It's really fun when you throw the power word threshold up and you get kill 8.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna one-shot chaos is kind of funny.
Yeah, unlimited power word is pretty wild.
Yeah. So let's jump over to the wiki real quick just going to show off some of the options here, and by some I mean all of them. Right? So there's an explanation here from Twinge, a fabulous member of our developer team.
Yeah. Shout out Dark
But,
Twinge.
heck yeah. So we have a lot of damage spells.
Yeah.
Now, what I'm going to show it off when we actually show the seed here, but these spells, when you look at them in game, will have a symbol for their element. So you don't have to like memorize the chart. The names are pretty consistent.
Yeah.
So don't be too don't be too shy about this. This is fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, notable things. We have elemental damages that don't exist in the vanilla game. We have a death element AoE with the Necro. We have, Rot, single target. So here's big deal. There's actually single target nukes that are worth taking. And they will dramatically change the way that you think about magic. Because throwing out nuke in the vanilla game, you're like, against a fiend, that's going to be like probably 100 to 200 because it's going to be resisted. Like, when a fiend resists a spell and it still does 400 damage.
Yeah. oh boy.
It's a real good time.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely a pretty good feeling to see.
So getting past our damages, and again, there's damages of all sorts of types. There's damages that are single target or AoE like normal. The single targets are really a big selling point. But we also have status effects. And you will notice that there are some that do not have a type. And that's a really big deal, right? So, notable in here is you've got Doom, a non-elemental death spell. You've got Halt, a non-elemental paralysis.
One of my favorites too, by the way.
Yep. You got a bunch of different options in here. Now, Cryo, very funny. It's like Bane, but it's ice. Volt, similarly, lightning elemental death.
Yeah.
Just get out of here.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Odin sending down lightning bolts of thunder.
So you get lots of fun options here, and I'm either not seeing it or it's hiding, but there is kill, and that is non-elemental power word.
Yeah.
Like Quad X.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a scary spell.
Yeah, we rolled we did that Archipelago AP show off with you, me, and Hade, but when we were finishing up the boot camp. We do some AP stuff late at night, some of us, and we've seen Chaos roll kill 8 in some of those seeds when people are using Spellcrafter, and it's a very difficult time to try to get through a Chaos with the first turn kill 8 on your party, and it can do some very interesting things.
So the nice thing is kill 8 is single target, but the downside is that there's no saving you against it except the hit point threshold.
Yep.
And again, that power word threshold is a very fun flag. Talking about our defenses real quick.
Interesting. It's down here. I was just a quick little scroll. It's under the defensive spells. Interesting.
I mean, offense is the best defense.
Indeed. This is true.
So a couple interesting things here. We've got a bunch of different resistance magics that can roll in. So, we're used to seeing our A Fur, our A Ice, A Lit, but A Poison to give you poison resist. It's like A Mag is fantastic, depending on how many elements it adds.
Right.
But you remember what I said about the spell levels? That has a really big impact here. So, for example, there is a significant difference between Invis 1 and Invis 8.
Yeah.
Invis 8 is a monster. It's like I want to say it's like 80 evasion to the whole party, or maybe like 90 evasion, something like it's
Yeah, it's up there.
gross.
Somewhere between like 4.5 or 5 stacks of ruse, like right away. It's some crazy number.
So it's there's things like that. Temper 8 is I had it last night in a seed, and it's I think it was 26 attack power to the entire party
Yeah,
per cast,
yeah,
as opposed to what is it vanilla like 16,
yeah. I think it's like 6, 14, 16,
12?
somewhere in there. Yeah,
Yeah.
but and then also
So
like, that's something like don't seek my. It's AOE to the party buffing right there. Temper, which is like say you got 2 damage dealers, a knight and a ninja. Like oh boy, one cast and hit them both. Like oh, it feels good.
you also have double the opportunities for fast to land on the ninja
Mm-hmm.
because we also have quick
Yep.
as an option, which is self-cast fast.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so lots of options in here. Things that you wouldn't expect to be particularly great based on their base spell can turn out to be just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey, it's a Shumbabi.
Oh hey, I don't have chat up because I don't want to mess this stream. Restreaming's not my forte, so I'm not trying to be very careful with what I do here.
So, now that we've kind of run through the basics, and I'm gonna make sure that we get this uploaded to an official channel. We probably need to make this a series.
Yeah, this would be fun. Do this every couple weeks or once a week. I'm down.
As often as I introduce weird flags in the Duckling Weeklies, I think is the answer to that.
These are fun. Everything can't be, consistent lessons learned and all that. We got to have some fun with it too and teach some things that this randomizer can do that's outside the box. And I think that's one of the great things that we try to do.
Yeah. So, I have prepared just a little flag set for the purposes of looking at the magic, looking at what we're talking about with this.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I say I prepared something, I mean I've made myself level 25, and I gave myself a bunch of money, and I gave myself a free airship, so I can just run over and check out the magics.
I'm going to have to
Now,
recrop you a little bit, I think, here. The magic was a little off-center, but go ahead. Actually, now you look...
oh, jeez.
Yeah. Well, you weren't on exactly a blue screen right there for me, so...
No, I wasn't. So, just looking here, we've got Aether 4, which is just Aether. We got Wall 5, which is just Wall. But we got Holy 6, which is single target, non-elemental damage, which can be very handy. Level 1, 7 gold, sure, why not? And Life 3 is basically Life 1.
Yeah.
Right? So if I'm buying here, I'm definitely buying Holy, and I'm definitely buying Life, and I'm definitely buying Wall on this White Mage.
Mm-hmm.
And we come over to Black Magic. So stop 5, single target, time elemental stop. It's just stop, but single target.
Yeah.
Here's where we start seeing a little bit of the interest. So Lit 2. Lit 2 in vanilla is not super great. I mean, it's good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's passable. This is a reasonable single target damage spell, but you can really tell that it's designed to be a level 2 spell.
Right. Yeah.
So we got Ice 2, same deal. Damage ranges are a little bit different because Ice and Lightning have always been a little bit different. And then we've got Quad X, well, Tri X 7,
Mm-hmm.
but this is just Quad X.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But you can see that there's a little coffin icon indicating that this is the death element.
Mm-hmm.
We've got that it is a power word status, so it uses the power word threshold, and the effect is death. So, most definitely that's on the buy list. This Black Mage is going to get the single target damage spells. The Red Mage is going to pick up Holy and call it a day,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So nothing super surprising there. Now, what's nice, again, is there's just single target damage options that aren't like fire,
Mm-hmm. It's like when you turned up the improved fire, lightning, and ice on, like, that 1 week for the boot camp. Like, picture that, but, like, multiplied even more. That's kind of what we're getting at here.
Assume I have Lithanian Superstore on. Yeah, I probably should just do that. Holy 8, single target, higher damage range than Nuke.
Mm-hmm.
Ray 5 is a similar non-elemental damage, but AoE. Pure 2 and Cure 1 are exactly what you think they are. Now, what's notable here is Pure does get rid of a couple extra statuses because we have the improved healing flag on.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see it's poison, dark, and paralysis, I think, stun.
Yes, it's like Asuna from the later Final Fantasy games in its infancy.
Temper 6. This is way more powerful than vanilla Temper.
Yep.
Snow 8.
Oh,
Look
boy.
at that damage. Look at that damage.
400 to 800. Ice is so powerful. Yeah, boy howdy. Boy howdy.
Lock 3 is literally twice as strong as Lock 1, or like Lock or Lock 2 in vanilla.
Mm-hmm.
So this is huge. This is a spell worth casting. And mute.
Yeah.
Shimbabi having brought up the excellent point, I'm just going to try to walk my way over to the Superstore. Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense that way, yeah.
I should have just parked myself there in the first place.
And you're within shouting distance of Gaia to finish out the magic there, too. It makes sense.
Yeah. Crashing an airship because...
Aelmark and School of Airship Flight.
Yep. I have no idea what the walk length is in this seed because, I mean, I never actually explored any of it. Alright, let's look at some more white spells. Harm 4 is actually Harm 4.
Yeah. Nothing special there.
Heal 3 is not.
Yeah. Not the same as the heal 3 you would expect in vanilla.
Cure 6. So Cure 6 is Cure 4 in vanilla.
Mm-hmm.
But it can also be Cure 7 sometimes. Like, it just sort of floats.
Mm-hmm.
If it's 6 or higher, it's always the full HP recover. But keep in mind, the way that these are numbered is it takes the slot of spell that it was replacing. So this would have been one of the level 6 spells. And then it gets shuffled into a different spell level later.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose Hurt 1.
We're using foul language.
Yep. Alright. Harm 8.
A little bit better.
Now remember, a lot of the times people are playing with White Mage Harm All. So you're looking at a 240 to 480 spell damage.
Mm-hmm.
Non-elemental.
Yeah.
Heal 4 is basically Heal 2 in vanilla.
Mm-hmm.
We got Harm 1, it's Harm. And you can see Ruse 2 here is actually weaker than vanilla Ruse.
Mm-hmm.
Or no. Is it? It is not. It is on par.
Yeah, 54 sounds right-ish.
I think 40 is vanilla.
Yeah, it's close. Yeah, 40.
Bobby probably knows.
I'm sure he does.
You see, Cure 5 is basically our Cure 3. We've got our Alit 4, whatever. Harm 6. It's pretty good. It's damage range against undead is better than Nuke.
Mm-hmm.
Now, again, the Harm All is going to roll that, it's always a standard hit, so it's going to be the resist values in there.
Mm-hmm.
Heal 1 is very sad.
Less than a heal pot right there.
Mm-hmm. So here's our Exfer. It is just Exfer. There is nothing special about it in that regard. So Avox is mute and I believe stun.
Yeah.
But time element on all enemies. This is just a weird little spell in some regards, but I think it's super cool.
Mm-hmm.
Here's our exit. It's just exit. It rolled into a 5th level slot. Here's our A poison. Resist poison. Remember what I said about Invis 8?
Whoa.
The spell is busted.
Mm-hmm.
It's 2 casts and you're capped.
Yeah.
One cast on a thief with the increased agility and you're capped.
Yeah.
Cure 2 is legitimately Cure 2.
Yep.
And this is a magic, which is going to give you resistance to fire, ice, and lightning.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that can change from seed to seed. It's a number of resists. Gas 5. This is a poison element damage spell, which, again, can be super cool. We know that there are bosses that don't like their poisons.
Mm-hmm.
Mute is mute. But also dark and sleep. That's pretty cool.
Yep.
Let's just be honest.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Stop 7, it's stop, like for realsies this time.
Yeah.
It hits every enemy. And fast 5 is regular fast. If it was fast 8, it would be all targets in your party.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Multi-target Brack.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that, Lucy?
I feel like I like that quite a bit, actually.
Time element damage. There's one enemy that resists time in the game. Yup.
Yep. Pretty good for everything else.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Lock 6 is the same as the prior lock spell, but it's all enemies, so we're getting 60 evade off instead of, I believe, 20.
Yeah.
Fear is fear. Always a fun spell, never a great spell.
Mm-hmm.
Rub is rub. Slow is slow. You'll notice this is a non-elemental slow, so it's slow too.
Mm-hmm.
We got a power word stun here. Actually, yeah, that is slow too, a single enemy.
Mm-hmm.
And then regular slow, where you have the status element to it and half hits to a single enemy, because it's worse than regular slow.
Mm-hmm.
Got some Snow 6, single target ice damage. We saw Snow 8 earlier,
Mm-hmm.
which was significantly higher. Confuse 3, it's Confuse. Fire 4, this is slightly better than Vanilla Fire 2.
Mm-hmm.
Saber 3, it's Saber with slightly higher attack bonus.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're probably all seeing the pattern here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, Warp rolled at an 8th level slot.
Wow, that's sad.
But again, Ice 3, it's really more like Ice 2.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know. And what? What do we got here?
Cake.
Cake 5.
Mm-hmm.
Single target cake.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's good for Lich.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's go check out our Gaia spells. So again, this is really just saying, hey, what's going to be there more than anything else. Like we're not going to do the seed here. We're just kind of talking about what's up.
Mm-hmm. Wow, sad.
Dark 2. Power word blind.
Yeah. Mm. And then single target fast, bummer.
That is caster only. That's
Yeah,
like Saber.
that's what I meant.
So-
Single target as in yourself, bummer.
Yeah. Fog 3.
Yeah.
It's not great.
Mm.
Life 8, there is your full cure, your life 2 equivalent.
Mm-hmm.
Lightning 8, baby. Let me tell you, these, like, Lit 8 is a scary spell.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you haven't found enough ribbons and you didn't find wall 8, like, it's just not great.
Yep.
Lit 4 again it's kind of like Lit 2. Fire 1 is sad. Let's see what we got here. We got Fog 7, and that's actually okay to cast.
Yeah.
24 Absorb is reasonable-ish. It's not Invis 8, let me tell you.
Yeah.
We got our Soft. It does soft things.
Yeah.
We got our Sleep. It does sleep things.
Yeah.
It is non-elemental, which is kind of funny to me. But Sleep is just not a great status, so who cares?
Yeah. I mean, you can see, like, the magic's going to do, like, some funky things, but, like, it's really, like, it makes a lot of sense when you look at it, so.
Yeah. Now, one thing I mentioned earlier is you can expect those damage spells that have a 7 and an 8 attached to them, those are going to show up in your Fiend refights.
Yeah.
What we did not see, though, and this is very much worthwhile to share, is we did not see Flare or Nuke in the black magic at all. So there was no non-elemental damage for the black mage or that side of the red mage. We had multiple non-elemental damages for the white mage. So, keep that in mind when you're thinking about playing with Spellcrafter. Like, you can see some very high-powered offensive white mages. They went to Battle Cleric school, it turned out.
Yeah, I mean, this seat alone, I mean, look at it. Like, yeah, it's Snow 8 to the Black Mage, and it's really nice, but all of the damage rolled white for the most part. All your AoE and some really good, single targets. So, I mean, you really got to think about your party composition a little bit. Vanilla's very safe, but don't sleep on white mages here, even if they're not really your thing, because they can definitely help.
And the other thing worth noting is, again, look for your Wall 8. Wall 8 is so good.
Yep.
Because that is party-wide wall. And let me tell you, in seeds that I have done with Spellcrafter, Lich coming out with a single target blast at somebody, like, that Snow 8 coming at your face, it's a lot of damage.
Yeah.
And it throws out that map that you're so ingrained in having. Like, oh, I've got over 400 hit points. I'm safe from any spell. Not anymore.
Very much not so.
So, Luffy, you got any other thoughts here?
No, like we saw some good stuff out there. We didn't see, like I said, one of my personal favorite spells is Halt. We didn't see that, which is a bit of a bummer. But you got some really good options out there. I mean, the multicast Brack was super fun to see. That's really cool. It can just do some really neat things, and it's one of those things in the randomizer that's not shown off as often. So it's fun to play with this a little bit, after going through the marathon we had last weekend, the Ducklings that graduated a couple weeks ago. This is some fun times here. So, enjoy this and, tell us what you think. We're definitely curious what people think about these.
So that about covers it for me as well. I just, I figured if I'm going to throw Spellcrafter at some ducks, I better actually explain what the heck it does. So, if you're interested in playing around with the flag, by all means do so. I think it's a ton of fun. And it can really open up the randomizer in fun ways. Just remember that retain old permissions is pretty important if you value your red mages.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I think that about covers it. I only asked for 30 minutes of Luffy's time, so here we are at our 30 minutes. But yeah, hope you have a fabulous evening. Thank you again, Luffy, for driving us around here.
Yeah, you're welcome. No problem. Anytime.
All right. Well, with that, have a good night, everybody.
Yep. Look for this coming out next week, guys. Have fun with it. Bye.